Good morning. Last session we started the topic methods in Java. Now we know how to write programs using method concept, but still we are having some more topics and terms to be known clearly. So the first thing is you should know what is static method. So static method is common for all the objects present in a class. The term common is very important. Any object can access that member function. See the example here. Now I have declared my method as static. See here, as static. So as it is a static member function, it is a common method anyone can access. See, I am directly accessing inside the main my method of. But remember our earlier session, so during the last session we started writing method for adding two numbers. See here, I have declared this method as a non-static method. See, I didn't use any static keyword here, which means that this method is a non-static method, which is otherwise mean to say, we can say it as this method is specific to a class. So only those class object can access this method. Now see the difference, how we have to access. We should first create an object for the class, and by using this object we can access that method. But see here, in static method anyone can access, because static is a common member. Anyone can access. We don't need to get a permission of object. See, simply I am calling my method of. That's a speciality of static. See the declaration of main. Main is also a static method. That's why it is common to all. And the compiler is also starting execution from this line. Okay. This is what called as static member. Don't forget the term common. And next you should know formal parameters and actual parameters. Formal parameters are used to receive values from the caller statement. See here, see in this example, I am passing int m comma int n. So while defining a function in a method header, we are using two input arguments, int m comma int n. So these two variables are called as formal parameter, because it is receiving a value from the caller method. So who is calling? Main method is calling calling add method. So the formal parameter is used to receive values from the caller method. Whereas see here, actual parameters. Actual parameter means while calling a function, you are actually passing the value to the function. This is called as actual parameters. Okay, so you should know the difference. Formal parameters are used to receive values from the caller, and actual parameters are values passed to the method during its call. Okay, and different ways of defining function. There are 4 different cases. In, out, in, no, out, no in, no out, no in, out. So here in means input arguments, having input arguments and also having output arguments. And the second case, having, it is having input arguments, but it will not return any value. There is no output. It will not return any value. And no in, no out, which means that no input requirement and also no return type. And no input requirement, but still it is returning some value to the caller function. So these are the 4 different ways of defining function. So now see here, see the example. So the arguments you are passing, this is called as in. Now in this program, in which category this program will comes under? This program will comes under in, out, because it is having both the input argument and also return type. Then it is called as in, out. So in these two combinations, you can left out anything as per your programming requirement. That's why there are 4 different ways of defining function. In, out, in, no out, no in, no out, no in, out. And we are passing arguments to the function. There are 2 ways. Either you can pass the value or you can pass a reference. So pass by value means you are simply passing a value, so that any change made in the formal parameters doesn't affect the actual parameters. Whereas in the category of pass by reference, reference means we are actually not passing the value. Instead of value, we are passing the address. So what will happen if any change happen to formal parameters will reflect in actual parameter. So we should be very careful in this pass by reference method, because it may cause sometimes side effects to your program. This value reflection in value may cause side effects, and as it is causing side effects, the method will be impure method, and this is called as mutator, and this will change the state of an object. That's why it is causing unwanted side effects, and we can't even control this situation by using access specifier, and may not return a value also. So this kind of method is called as impure method. You should be very careful while using impure method. And pure method means it doesn't cause any change in the state of an object, and there is no change in the parameters passed, and pure method should be returnable method. Always it has a return type. Okay, so that's the difference between pure and impure method. And we can also use the concept called method overloading. That means that same function name will be used, but there may be a variance in arguments. Rectangle of two input requirements. Area of area, so area 2 argument, area 3 argument, area 4 argument. So in the same name, I'll pass 3 different arguments and I'll execute the code. That is called as overloading. Recursive method is again a different case. A method calls itself in its body. Okay, that is called as recursive. Within a block of code, once again you will call a method. Okay, so based on some situation and some cases it will terminate, but the method call itself in its body is called as recursive method. Okay, so these are all the various concepts under the topic method. And another important concept is constructor. Constructor is again a member function or method having the same name as class name, but it is used to initialize the instance variables of the object. Okay, if you want to pass or initialize the member variables present in your class, using constructor you can pass values to the member variables. Okay, this is what the purpose of constructor. Constructor is still having many more flavors and many more topics. So next session we will discuss more on constructor. Okay, thank you.